If any human was a definition of the extraordinary culture lifestyle, that person would be Anthony Bourdain. We here at Extraordinary Culture Podcast are sad to hear of his passing and the passing of Kate Spade, both as a result of suicide, possibly brought on by depression. Seeking assistance for depression and mental health is nothing to be ashamed of and is not a sign of weakness. You do not have to face these battles alone. If you or someone you care for needs someone to talk to, you can call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. Visit suicidepreventionlifeline.org, or you can also send a text to 741-741, and a crisis worker will text you back immediately and continue to text with you. As always, thank you for listening to Extraordinary Culture Podcast.
Welcome to the Extraordinary Culture Podcast. Podcast for the culture that is music, movies, sports, food, and beer. The Extraordinary Culture.
Good evening. Welcome to the Extraordinary Culture Podcast. How's everybody doing today?
Doing good, man.
Doing fine.
So we have a special guest in studio today. We have our good friend of ours, Ryan Z. Introduce yourself, Ryan.
Hello, I'm Ryan Z. I've known these guys for 30 plus years.
Many moons.
Yeah, many.
I've learned something this week though, that we could refer to ourselves as 200 plus pounds. That falls in. But yeah, 30 plus years.
And then Jr. is back with us.
Hello.
How you doing, Junior?
Doing well. Just hot. Hello.
Yes, man. You know, I was reading an article a few weeks ago, and I can't remember what it was from, but they were saying when people say it's hot as balls, it's like 86 degrees. Like somebody did the math and went through it, and saw when people said that like hot as balls was like 86 degrees.
Oh, that's nothing if you live in Southern California.
It isn't. That's what's funny.
That is a death sentence for me.
And cold as balls was like 58 or something like that.
Oh, that would be nice.
It feels cold as balls out here.
So what's colder than the what you sit then?
I didn't look that one up.
Negative 666 Celsius.
All right, I'll take that one.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
minus.
That's just about
Plus
it.
or minus.
So we've had a busy month. We just got through with May, and we've seen some great movies come out, and we're planning to discuss them. I saw Solo and Deadpool, and we had Memorial Day. Would anybody have any plans for Memorial Day? Anything special?
We were here. It was actually Dan's birthday weekend,
Yeah,
too.
we just hung out.
That's right. Happy birthday, Dan. You're
Thank
the
you.
big now. How old are you again?
37.
37. Wow, you're catching up with me.
In a
Oh,
row.
man. In a row.
In a row.
37
Hey,
in a row.
yo.
That was nice to get together, man. That pulled pork was
Yeah.
something else, man.
Yeah,
That
it
was beautiful.
pretty good.
I want it again.
Oh, man. I think I still have some left. But, yeah, it was pretty cool. We did see some awesome movies. I think one of the coolest movies I've seen in a while. Solo.
Dude,
Yeah.
Solo was a lot of fun.
It's everybody's hating on it, but I thought it was good. Everybody that I talked to, I haven't met one person yet that didn't like it. Even the ones who thought they were going to hate it wound up liking it.
And that's the thing is, I don't think anybody's giving it the chance because it's from everyone I know that has not wanted to see it has said, I can't picture anybody besides Harrison Ford as Han Solo.
Lame.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot, too.
Get over it.
And
Get over
how do you
that
pronounce his name? I can never pronounce his name right.
I don't even know what his name is.
Alden Ehrenreich.
Aaron Rich. He did a fantastic job. You know, this is approximately 10 years before New Hope. So you got a young kid. Obviously, he's not the smuggler. He's not the cocky guy who survived for that 10 years and gotten that attitude and that pieces. So can you see that coming? Yeah. Does he have a grounding in it? Yeah, but...
Yeah. And, so, you know, sometimes you also just have to pass roll down. I mean, like, James Bond is passed from actor to actor every 4 or 5 movies. So, I mean, we've had 4 or 5 James Bonds now. I'm not a big James Bond fan, but...
I think more than that at this
I think
point.
there's 10.
Probably about-
plus.
Probably about 10, yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes roles are just carried out or passed from person to person. And you just have to be accepting of that. Jack Ryan. Harrison Ford was the first Jack Ryan. No, excuse me. Oh, geez. Who was it? Alec Baldwin from Hunt for Red October. and then Harrison Ford took on the role,
Oh, like Patriot games.
the Patriot games
Yeah.
and all that. So sometimes roles just have to be passed down. You can't have Harrison Ford do anything, and hey, have fun with it. Enjoy the movie for what it is,
Yeah, it was fun. And how can you go wrong with Donald Glover?
Oh my God, he was even his cadence was like Lando's.
Yes, it was.
And his cockiness and everything to him was like, this is Lando as a kid.
Mm-hmm. And watching the movie, I think there was more homage to Lando in terms of those little teasers than there was even to like Han and Chewie.
Yeah, a lot more.
Yeah, like he's sitting there. They go to what is it, Kessel, and he's sitting there going, "I hate mining colonies." And when you meet him, of course, in Empire, he's running a mining colony.
Exactly. I'm like, oh my God, I caught that right away.
Yeah.
There was a lot of little things
Yeah.
actually. Now that kind of look back on it, I've been watching some of the YouTube spoiler videos and just videos where they kind of go over certain parts of the movie.
Yeah, like I've been watching a lot of Easter egg videos, and Lucasfilm actually did an official one where they had who's the bad guy again? With the scars on his face.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah. Anyway, they had his his trophy room and all the
Yeah.
different Easter eggs in there. He has a Sith holocron.
Mm-hmm.
He has a dancing jade statue, which it comes up like in Shadows of the Empire, and it comes up in a few other things.
Uh-huh.
He has Mandalorian armor, and that comes up later on. That's what but the planet from that Boba Fett's from.
Right.
So there's all these little Easter eggs that, like, if you're a smart fan, And then the Imperial March is actually canon now that it's the official march of the Empire, but they pump it up. It's a little more brassy. And
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool. And one of the things I pointed out right away goes, shouldn't we get the Zan twins or Bosk? And I point out to Dan, goes, Bosk is that lizard guy in Empire.
Yeah, they mentioned them. I heard that.
And I thought the Zan twins were the twins that you see in the Cantina, but they're not. I looked it up, and they're another name.
Right, and then of course they keep tying it into even the Clone Wars because they mentioned that Beckett had killed Aurra Singh, and that actually happened in the Clone Wars stories. I don't know if it was cartoons or the books or whatever, but
Yeah.
I know that happened. It's official canon to begin with, so hitting those little homages here and there, that's really cool. I'm sad it didn't do the box office take that it should have.
And here's the thing. I mean, any other film, it had a fantastic opening weekend. It had $100 million.
Exactly.
But because it's Star Wars and everybody's expecting it to do more, they're like poo-pooing it. I'm like, no. I mean, geez. I mean, what other movies are making $100 million in this opening weekend?
True.
Avengers.
Avengers.
I mean, but honestly, if you think about any other movie that's going to do that, is more than likely going to be a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Plus, you're setting up a third Star Wars movie fourth. I'm sorry, in the last 3 or 4 years. A fourth Star Wars movie in the last 3 or 4 years. Rogue One being an exceptional film. I haven't seen Solo yet. Sorry, Infinity Wars is gone twice now. We don't get to the movie.
Got you by the Wavos?
Yeah,
By the short hairs?
Kind of had to do 2 runs, but it looks like a fun movie. I want to see it. I could see where people are giving it a bunch of crap because that's what we're living with. I mean, everyone's a critic. Everyone knows so much about every smart marks, what have you, and they're not giving it the due diligence that it's probably worth. And I'm speaking to a guy about it. I haven't seen it, so just
All
giving
right,
it its fair run.
so for you, Van Buren Drive-In, Avengers, Solo double feature.
Really,
Yeah,
When?
yeah,
it's still going right now. It's already going.
That's
a little
awesome.
tough.
So actually, a week ago it was Solo Avengers double feature. Now it's back to Avengers Solo double feature. So that was kind of an interesting observation too.
Flip flop them on you guys.
Yeah, that is
I
pretty
think
weird.
you're gonna get a bigger draw with Avengers, and people stay for Solo and go, "Hey,
Yeah.
that wasn't bad."
Yeah.
And it was a fun film. I mean, Rogue One was a serious film. This one was a lot more fun, a lot more discoveries, a lot more things like you find out how Chewie and Han met. It's a little different from what was previously talked about before, where Han rescues Chewie from as a slave. I mean, he's still a
Yeah.
slave in the film, but it's a little bit different.
So the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm kind of processing it as Ocean's 11 in the Star Wars galaxy.
Yeah, It's a heist film.
It is. It's very much that heist film. It's the clever heist film. Lots of twists and turns. You don't really know who to follow along with, and this and that. So, and then of course the big reveal at the end of the movie.
Oh, I knew that was going to happen.
Oh yeah, you're right. You did.
I did tell Dan about that. So
I told some clients at work, I was telling them about it. I go, look, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I am going to say, just pay attention, you know. And then as soon as I talk to them the next time, their next appointment, the first thing they say is, "Oh, son of a bitch, that was crazy." Sure was, buddy.
That's the huge payoff for the movie, right?
It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Because it's going to set up so much more they can do.
Yeah.
Over that 10-year time frame. And it was cool to see the very non-politically charged part of the Star Wars universe. It was the seedy underbelly. It was the crime world. It wasn't the rebels and the Empire. It was those, the outsiders.
yeah, the outsiders, the guys who really are there in the Star Wars universe, and they get some mention it, but you don't see too much of them other than Jabba.
I don't know about the social justice crap, though, that was in the movie. That was my big problem with it.
The one towards the end there?
The robot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was one of the best parts. No, man, that was hilarious.
I hated every bit of it.
I thought it was funny, and it was like a welcome distraction. And you got to also remember that sometimes droids develop their own personalities over time.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Still didn't like it.
But it kind of, everybody's now connecting it to the Empire.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the funny part, is when you put those things in, and did they do it on purpose? I don't know, but it's funny how easy it is to see those connections, and C-3PO saying your computer has the most peculiar dialect. And
That
she had such an
definitely-
attitude,
Yeah.
That definitely is the one thing that I will say about her that I did like, was that when they eventually leading into the Easter eggs, that she is the ship and it shows how it's done. That was a really cool part.
Yeah.
I wasn't down for that social justice.
Which is funny because I saw a shirt online the other day. It was "Viva la Droid Revolution,"
And
and it had her with the communist hat on. It was just classic.
do you remember the Bounty Hunter series?
Yes.
Okay, remember IG-88 was supposed to get into the Death Star?
Yes.
And take everything over.
Uh-huh.
I kind of got hints that was going to happen a little bit, but then I said oh, good, and it didn't happen because
It didn't happen that way.
Yeah.
But you saw Deadpool. I haven't seen Deadpool yet.
Going tomorrow.
I haven't seen it yet.
So I'm the only one who saw it.
I think so.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
Deadpool was fantastic. I enjoyed it a lot. A lot of people are saying they liked it better than the first one. I have to say I like the first one a little bit better. But it's I like the little jabs they throw at different things.
Okay.
There's a jab at Rob Liefeld. Because if you ever know Rob Liefeld, he's drawn forever. He's drawn these huge muscular guys that how can they even walk?
Uh-huh.
You draw these huge women with big breasts and you're in tiny little legs. How can she even support her?
The Battle Chaser style.
Yeah, and then you even see he had he could never draw feet. He could never draw feet, and there's a mention in there. Goes, oh, Rob Liefeld can't draw feet. The Stan Lee cameo wasn't very prominent. It just flashed by and goes and I even watched a thing Easter eggs, and so
Uh-huh.
oh, you missed the Stan Lee cameo. It's here. I'm like, you still don't see it. It's 2 seconds and that's it. It's vulgar. Do not take your children to see it.
Oh, of
Do
course.
not take your children to
Pish
see it.
posh. Pish posh.
That means do take your children to go see it.
That means
It's-
Nick's going to go see it with you.
Correct
These
them.
Words I don't care about. It's the sex stuff that I kind of got to draw them away from. But
To you.
It's not as bad as the first one with the sex
then
stuff in
that's
this
fine.
one. Yeah.
Then I'm cool with that.
So
but,
who's taking it in the butt this time?
Oh, they do bring that up.
Of course they do. They
But
have to.
whatchamacallit, I was talking to a friend of mine from work, and I said, he goes, and he's a huge comic book fan, and I said, and he has 2 younger daughters. I think they're just under 10. And I said, hey, are you going to take your kids to go see it? He's all, no, I don't. He goes, this is the way I see it. He goes, I'm not going to pay for my kids to go see stuff like that. If they see it at a friend's house or something like that, that's one thing, because that's how I saw these movies, and it was never talked about. He goes, because I know they're going to see it somehow, but I'm not going to pay for it. The next day he told me, goes, yeah, my baby's mama took him to go see Deadpool 2. I'm like, what? He's all,
Oops.
I go, did you get mad at her? He goes, long story. So,
And as a 5th grade teacher, dude, I see that. I'm like, you saw Deadpool? Really? Like, yeah, same thing. My mom took me to see it, or my dad took me to see it. I'm like, I would not take my son to see it.
Yeah.
Like, again, if we end up watching it at home later on, I'm like, all right, man, you can watch, but that's a whole different story. I'm not going to do it right away. These kids are seeing them, like, opening weekend.
Yeah, I'm just, like, amazed. I mean, I knew another parent, they said, like, when the new, The Force Awakens came out, they're saying, like, going to take your kids. It goes, well, I'm going to go see it first, see what's in it, and then I'll go take my kids.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, that's responsible parenting. And he goes, but I'm like, I would have just like, oh, Star Wars, we're going to go see it because, it's PG-13, no problem.
I mean, I was in 5th grade when Terminator 2 came out, and I remember my dad taking me, but it was one of those things, it was like, oh my God, he's letting me go.
Yeah.
It wasn't just anticipated. I think nowadays it's kind of like anticipated. The kids are like, oh, we're going to go see it.
It's
Yeah.
a superhero film, so of course, the family
There's nothing
thinks-
wrong with it.
Yeah.
Deadpool 2, fantastic movie. Brings a lot of stuff. It talks about how Deadpool and his crew are X-Force. So if you know the comics, there's the X-Men. Then they had some other New Mutants come out, and they call them the New Mutants. Deadpool actually appeared in New Mutants 97, 98. It ended with 100 and became X-Force. So that was kind of cool to see. It was done well. Introduced some new characters. They had like a lot of the spoiler. A lot of the people from the X-Force died, like on their first mission. Like there's wins and they get killed.
Wow.
Cable's cool, and if you actually know the history of Cable's the son of Cyclops and Jean Grey, Marvel Girl, and he's from the future and he comes back in time to correct some things. So he's still a time traveler. It hasn't mentioned who his parent lineage is yet. So basically, what he needs to do is somebody that another mutant that Deadpool meets in the course of the film, Cable's there to kill, because he eventually the person eventually will kill Cable's family. So he's there to make sure that everything is set right, so like it doesn't come on. And the thing is, he's a child, so it's a moral responsibility. Deadpool's like goes, wow, and goes. You're gonna kill? Aren't you gonna kill him? So no, he's a child. I can't kill a child. I've killed murderers and people and all this other stuff. I've killed bad people, but you can't kill a child. And even Tony Montana had some moral code where he said no children, man. I don't kill kids, no kids. So
now refresh my memory. In the comic continuity, isn't he coming back to try to help prevent Apocalypse Rising?
I believe so. Yeah.
I could be wrong with that. Ryan, do you have any recollection of that?
If they're going to stick with that, but
just out of curiosity, that's the way
Yeah.
the comic continuity was, right?
yeah, but
Okay.
if we're going off X-Men Apocalypse, the movie, then they've already wrapped that up.
Yeah, of course.
So I don't know how they would bring that back. Even though I thought it was a great movie, I thought the X-Men series was great. I don't know how they would run that.
No, I don't. I
Yeah.
don't anticipate them
It'd
doing
be cool
that.
if they did, right? But,
I'm just like, and I know they're kind of trying to push the X-Men more towards the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So if they're keeping the Deadpool pieces separate, it makes sense. He's in there. It makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah.
It's separate. But I'm just curious how that went into play.
We'll figure this all out. And you know what's funny? Deadpool's in the mansion, the Charles Xavier's mansion, and he's walking around and goes, where do we see all the other X-Men? And you see a cameo of Beast, Quicksilver. Quicksilver's actually wearing a Nirvana shirt, which I thought was weird because he's really old now.
So is it a third Quicksilver?
Probably. Because there's been 3 Quicksilvers. There's whatchamacallit, the one
Peters.
Edmund Peters, and there's the one from the Avengers, and then there's the one from Days of Future
Fantastic
Past.
Four.
Lawrence Fishburne.
That T-shirt.
And then they had Beast,
Randy Watson.
Xavier, and Logan in there. And and the whole movie,
Charlie Murphy.
Deadpool's breaking the fourth wall. So that means he stops looking at you, the camera, and making comments. And it's fun to see that in a film. It doesn't happen too often in films. I remember Mr. Roper used to do all the time in Three's Company, and I used
Ferris
to love
Bueller.
it. Ferris Bueller broke the third wall a lot, and one of the first times I remembered breaking the third wall was Trading Places, where Eddie Murphy stops and looks at the camera, which at that time nobody ever did, and then and even in a comedy nobody did that. So it's a fun film. Like I said, use your best judgment if you want to take your kids. If you have a kid under 16, I wouldn't recommend you take them, but hey, do what you want to do. It's a fun, great film.
All right, man. So why don't we go ahead and take a break, and then when we come back, I'm going to tell you guys my funny story about Tyson Ranch launch party that I went to out in Hollywood a couple weeks ago. All right.
All right, sounds good.
Cool.
People hang on his every word, even the prepositions. He could disarm you with his looks or his hands. Either way. He can speak French in Russian. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
All right, so we went to this thing a couple of weeks ago. About 2 weeks ago? Was it about?
Yeah, 2
That
weeks.
was last
about
weekend.
2 weeks ago.
It wasn't this Thursday. It was the Thursday before.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Thursday before. So
Still May.
we got invited through our friends from TKO Water. We got invited to the Tyson Ranch launch party out in Hollywood. It was pretty cool. I'll tell you the coolest thing about it was the unlimited weed bar that they had there.
Yeah, that was
So they
kind of
had
crazy.
like 4 girls behind this table, really about the same size as this banquet table that we're on. And in the middle of all of them was this box. Inside that box was a bunch of holes, and inside those holes were cones. Now, if you don't know what a cone is, it's from a company called Raw. That's all hemp. It's all hemp based, natural, organic rolling papers and stuff like that. So they're filling these cones up with weed. They're just grinding weed. I mean, they started literally around 7-ish, and we left at 10 o'clock, and they were still doing it.
Oh wow!
It was just nonstop.
Sounds
So-
like an R-rated comedy.
It was it was pretty funny. It was funny. It was a trip just to see all this stuff going on. Really, what it was to show off some of the new products that Mike Tyson's cannabis company is coming out with. Everything from weed to vape pen cartridges to
CBD
the
water.
CBD water,
Ointments.
copper gel. Their copper gel ointment. Excuse me. Yeah, they're coming out with and they're going to come out with more stuff. It's just this is what they're starting with. And it was pretty rad. Everybody out there was smoking. There was if they weren't smoking, they were just kind of hanging out. There was an open bar. There was a lot of stuff that was just going on. They had this really awesome chick walking around with a violin. And they had a DJ that was playing music.
Yeah.
While the DJ was playing music, this chick's just walking around playing her violin. And it's not necessarily synced up to the music, but she had a wireless mic. So it was playing. It was like not ambient, but like complimentary to the music that was going
wow.
on. So
That's really cool.
and if you had a camera phone or you had your smartphone out, you would just take a video of her. She'd walk right up to you and start playing right in front of you.
That's cool.
It was really neat. It was really neat to see. I discovered my love for salmon tartare.
Explain to people what
out
that
there.
is.
Raw salmon on a cracker, I think. I don't know. It
That
was
sounds
pretty
right.
high.
You had the munchies, right?
I had the munchies big time. After that, we went to Cantor's, and I stuffed my face there like 11 o'clock at night.
I love Cantor's.
Yeah. So it was cool though. I can't wait to do it again. I can't wait to go to more events. Hopefully, I can get more events in. So yeah, it was pretty rad though. But you know that was my time at the Tyson Ranch launch.
So they
party.
have different strands there that they grow on the ranch.
Yeah, they had different strands over there. It was a couple of them, mainly hybrids, a couple indicas, but mainly hybrids. So it was pretty awesome. I'll show you a little bit more about it a little bit later. You guys were talking about going to see Halloween.
Yes, the new Halloween trailer came out on last Friday, and it's a new Halloween film with Michael Myers. And good thing we have Ryan here because he's an expert in all things horror. I mean, I talk to this guy about horror movies. Oh, you don't want to watch it. That's stupid. Oh, this movie's fantastic.
They're all good.
Well, no,
Depending on-
not
depending
Halloween,
on
but
what
it's
you-
like just horror movies in general.
And
Yeah.
we're talking, early 20th century too now. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm a connoisseur
Connoisseur.
of the horror genre. Yes.
I mean, I've even asked him about some obscure films if it's horror, like Sallow. What's that? 60 Days of Sodomy, and he's like, it's gross. You don't want to see it.
Anyone who's listening wants to take a whack at that, go ahead, but it's not worth your salt. 5 minutes in, it's boring. To be completely fair, it's shocking, but it's boring. And that's kind of where we're going with the renaissance of horror film. And looking at this Halloween trailer, it looks fantastic. I'm giving it my full backing. I hope they deliver. I mean, Danny McBride's one of the producers, and John Carpenter's the what is he?
The executive producer.
Executive producer. Yeah.
McBride's one of the
I was
yeah,
like
producers?
Danny
Yeah.
McBride, like Eastbound and
Big
Down.
old
I'm
titties?
good with that.
Big old titties.
Big ass titties. Which my son says. So if we're looking at, I mean, I don't know where you want to jump in on the trailer, if anyone's seen it, or I've watched it.
We just assume they've watched it, and
Yeah, I've seen it. That's about it.
Terrifying.
Yes.
There's a couple moments that are extremely terrifying just from the trailer.
the bathroom and the teeth.
Yeah.
That's like, whoa.
That was pretty crazy. I did
my
get to see the
goodness.
trailer.
That was incredible. The Myers just popping up in the door as he does is just an iconic shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like what they're doing with the story and just eliminating everything past the very first Halloween and just going right into an actual part 2 instead of I think the director was Mustafa. I can't remember his name. Part 2 was excellent. However, this is going to give some real teeth on it, or
So this
teeth
kinda-
on the bathroom
Some
floor.
validity.
It seems like this kind of retcons everything, right?
Yeah. From what I
Yeah.
understand. I mean, and there's always probably going to be more that we'll find out as time goes on and as we see the film. But from most of what we could see from the trailer, this takes place 40 years after the first one, and none of the other films ever happened.
And I have a theory on what's going to happen. This isn't going to be. There's going to be a part 3. I don't think this is going to be the final.
Obviously,
battle.
yeah.
And it's not going to be like the season of The Witch Part 3?
Great, but but you're already showing the brother and sister fighting each other. We already know that's going to happen.
Yep.
So why would I go see it? Well, there's got to be a setup. There's going to be something solid at the end. It's going to be
The one thing that caught my eye in it was the new therapist or whatever. That was the one that had like the I don't know if I could say it, but I'm gonna say it. The man boner from Michael Myers kind of deal.
Yeah.
He, I am thinking unless this is just some great Hollywood editing, some great movie trailer shit, and
Yeah.
whatever. But I believe he's gonna have something to deal with this, and just like what Ryan's saying, to leave open a second and a third one or something like that.
Oh yeah, walking into the prison yard or the insane asylum,
oh,
wherever
that-
that was, man.
solid.
That scene was
that was
goodness.
that was my favorite thing about the trailer.
That was some friggin' legit Joker style.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're going to get like an antithesis to Dr. Loomis with that.
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Finally.
He's going to be this.
Instead of someone that's on Laurie's side,
Yeah.
it's going to be
He
on
wants
Michael's
him,
side.
so
It's
why
a
is
Hannibal
that gonna
Lecter.
lead into-
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Good one.
Michael Myers gonna, he's gonna dance to Q Lazarus and
Good stuff.
So is there an official release date for that yet?
It's mid-October. I want to say it's October 19th. I'm not sure of the date, and Ryan's pulling that up right now.
Yeah.
It's October. I'm sure it's gonna be closer to Halloween.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be sacrilege if it's not.
Well, I remember when Halloween H2O came out, it was like a summer movie.
Yeah, that
October
was
19th.
October 19th, yeah.
Yeah, H2O, that one. Oh.
Yeah.
What are you guys' opinions on that, though? How early should a Halloween movie come out? Do you want it to be as close to Halloween as possible, or like say
Yes.
beginning of October, so you kind of have that time frame to see it in before Halloween?
First Friday of October would be
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
That'd be pretty boss.
I mean, you could do it. I mean, you could extend it to like the last weekend of September, but yeah, truly to be in the Halloween spirit, it's October.
Yeah.
Now, Ryan and I, we've been doing this for the last 5-6 years. I know you've been probably even doing it for longer, but we
Not
do
official, but yeah, 5 or 6 years official.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we do the 31 Days of Horror,
Yeah.
and we watch a horror movie. We watch 31 horror films in the course of October, if not
Right.
more.
Yeah.
I do too. That's awesome. I didn't
Yeah.
know about that, guys.
Yeah, we do that, and then the rule is you watch a movie every day, or sometimes you like if just because you can't, you have other things to do. You watch 2 or 3 in one day, and then you count it. But you have to watch 31 horror films, and you end with the original Halloween on Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween night you watch Halloween. So if you go trick or treating or go partying or do whatever you do, you have to close out the night with Halloween because, in my experience, every year I watch it and it gets creepier every Halloween.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I could, how many times have you seen it? Hundreds of thousands of times. Let's say 9 o'clock on Halloween night, everyone's going to sleep and what have you, and I'm still looking over my shoulder.
Making sure the boogeyman doesn't come in.
Bro, like,
The doorbell rings.
Myers
Like
is
11:30.
like
Like, oh
Superman.
shit.
And it's just something fun to do. Usually start off with the cheesier movies up front, or last year I dove into the Saw series and watched every Saw movie, and I was supposed to go watch Jigsaw, and I didn't, and it's in my collection, and I'm going to go at it again this year. That's a great story. Also, the whole Saw franchise is pretty sweet. But
I finally saw the first Saw. I avoided it for a long time.
Did
like,
you?
Yeah, I was like, I really don't know.
It's like SVU.
I saw the first one.
But it was weird because I mean by mid, by like say 2000 on, a lot of the horror started going more of that gore style.
Yeah, the torture porn.
Gorno. Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, it was not up my alley.
Hostel.
Yeah, Hostel was like
Oh,
one of the
my
first to
God.
do it, and it's. I mean, I've heard of like underground films. This one called August Underground was basically like a snuff film,
Yeah.
and I asked Ryan, he's like, nah. He goes, is it for free? Can you stream it anywhere? I'm like, no. He's all, then I ain't gonna watch it.
I don't care. Like I love the slash. Like going back to Infinity War, great movie. I love my horror movies like that. Like Predator, for example. Predator's not scary, but it's this big ass monster with claws and shit, and he's coming and going after Carl Weathers. Jason is like the Wolverine of horror. Bad example. Then they do the remake, and it was like, all right, it's a good movie, it's decent, terrible acting, guy kills everybody. What I'm seeing with this remake, like they remade the Texas Chainsaw. The first remake was great. The other two were kind of like iffy. Freddy Krueger was terrible, sadly. And then this Halloween is not even a remake. This is a straight in your face sequel, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
Especially with Jamie Lee Curtis coming out,
Yeah.
guns blazing. Shh, get out of here.
I just love it. She's got that
Great.
long hair again, like she did in the original. She has the
Yep.
long hair. It's gray now, and she's practicing on store mannequins. And and she says like, I pray that he escapes so I could kill him.
Yep.
It's Terminator 2 Sarah Connor-esque.
Yeah, very.
There you go, Sarah Connor.
I mean, it's like she's trained her whole life to kill Michael Myers when he comes back.
Ever since that last Halloween or whatever, ever since Halloween on the first movie.
Yep.
So she's 40 plus years of training, shooting, making it be a total badass.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to see this film.
Now you know what? I was also looking forward to the Rob Zombie versions of his of the Halloween, and I was pretty disappointed. I'd have to say.
It was kind of fizzled.
Yeah,
I saw them. It was better than I thought it was. It gives a little more
Same here.
backstory. But I mean, there's sometimes you just can't redo some movies. It's just not right. Like nobody's gonna ever try to redo Citizen Kane. Why? Because you can't do it.
But the Rob Zombie films, it's funny. We were talking about this the other day at jiu-jitsu training. They're good. Devil's Rejects.
Yeah.
Great movie. Excellent movie.
But that's
House of a
I see
Thousand
that. I see that as a revenge film more than
Right.
anything else.
Great movie.
Did you also see that they're coming out with another a
Devil
third?
the Three from Hell.
Yeah.
But Rob Zombie's problem, quote unquote, his use of women in the movies, it's gotten boring.
It has.
Right?
It really has.
The torturous things, the humiliating things he does to women is boring now.
He's got three things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gore, humiliation, and then
And female frontal nudity.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
And great. It's not as shocking as it was like House of a Thousand Corpses. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fun. Devil's
Yeah.
Rejects, it was like,
kind of fell
Then
off.
you get into Halloween where there's, I don't know which cut you've seen. There's a prison scene with one of the inmates. One of the ladies gets raped by one of the guards, and Danny Trejo stops it. I don't remember how it all went down, but I remember watching it like up until that point. It was a great movie, and then that killed it.
It's like, why do you have that in there, right?
Yeah, it killed it. So, granted,
Now, who's directing this one? You said Danny McBride and
well, Danny McBride is producing.
Producing.
The director is David Gordon Green, who has directed George Washington, Prince, Avalanche, Joe, and a bunch of other movies I've never heard of.
wow, he sounds really
See,
scary.
I've never seen any of those
he
movies
sounds
before.
really scary.
Booger Red.
And sometimes you just need a new director that needs to cut his teeth
Yeah.
to put a fresh perspective on these things. I
Very
mean,
true.
John Carpenter hadn't really directed any movies before he did the first Halloween.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, it's a fresh face that.
Carpenter was more of a Halloween though freak kind of.
Oh yeah,
So Kind of
Yeah,
makes
but
sense.
he's overseeing the whole thing, so he's
Yeah.
not going to let that
Very true. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not going to let that baby
wear
die.
off that much anyway.
All right, so we'll take a break, and then when we come back, there was another trailer that you guys wanted to talk about. So
Yeah.
when we get back, we'll talk about that one.
Sounds good.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real man of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Silent Killer Gas Passer.
Mr. Silent Killer Gas Passer.
Last night you had the enchilada combo platter. This morning, the 3-cheese omelet with broccoli. This afternoon, you're a ticking time bomb. Because of you, a simple elevator ride is suddenly a 42-floor plummet into the very bowels of hell.
You take my breath away.
Who did it? Who cares? Sweet mercy, please just someone light a match.
Sweet, sweet mercy.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, oh ninja of the nasty. And while you're at it, crack open a window.
Mr. Silent Killer Gas Passer.
Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head. Anyway, what's up?
So, one of the trailers that we saw with Solo was Bohemian Rhapsody. And since we do a lot of music, and watching that trailer surprised me, like you know, your daughter said, Rick, that movie has so many good songs.
It does.
And, you know, they're all Queen songs. They're all the hits. And Queen
the-
did some fantastic songs. They were,
And from the mouth of an 8-year-old. That was,
yeah.
that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. And, I mean, I've been, like, waiting for this Freddie Mercury movie for the last 10 years. I mean, I remember Sacha Baron Cohen was attached to it for a while. He was playing Freddie Mercury, which I thought, that's fantastic. He's going to be a great Freddie Mercury.
Because he does great characters.
Yeah, he does great characters. And he could sing, because I saw that in Les Miserables.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this guy could sing, too. And he's Borat.
And Todd Sweeney. He sang
Sweeney
in Todd
Todd,
Sweeney.
yeah.
Sweeney Todd, yeah.
Yeah,
Sweeney
Todd.
Todd.
So I'm like, so he was attached to it, but they didn't like the direction it was going, because it was like, oh yeah, it's about Freddie Mercury, then he dies, and then we talks about the band still continuing on. I'm like, so Queen kind of didn't get the concept, like, you know, Freddie Mercury was a band. I mean, the other guys are fantastic musicians. Nobody's ever going to deny that. But Freddie Mercury was was a frontman for that band. Those guys helped make him, but like if it wasn't for him, that band would have gone anywhere.
Right.
And I mean,
And he wrote those songs. It wasn't like a team of songwriters.
yeah, I mean, and the trailer's fantastic, because you see, like, you know, one of the funniest parts in the movie is like, it goes on forever. It goes, well, 6 minutes forever. I feel sorry for your wife.
Exactly.
So this is a movie that I'm eagerly anxiously looking forward to seeing. I can't talk right now. I just ate.
And seeing the progression of the character. I mean, you're watching him from those early days, long hair and this and that, and being able to get towards the end there with just
That gap tooth.
and that, and you know, personally, when I think of Freddie Mercury, that's the iconic look I think of. I think of those later years. You know, he's got the shorter hair, the mustache.
The mustache. I mean,
Yeah.
when we saw the trailer, I go, Dan, can you make my mustache look like that? And he said, like, well, I could try, but a lot of that was like natural. You can't just make your mustache look like that. I mean, like, if you see my dad's mustache, my dad has like a Milano Zapata mustache. I can't even come close. I'm lucky to have what I have
Right.
now.
Right. I take a whole month in November to grow it, and it doesn't grow.
You should take the month of November and December.
But I totally agree with you that, you know, Queen is a shell of itself now that Freddie Mercury isn't around. And nothing against Queen right now. You know, good for them. They're still
No, that
touring.
kid that's singing with him's good.
Adam Levine is
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, he's excellent too, but it's not going to be the same. Just like Andrew Lincoln is scheduled to leave The Walking Dead.
Yeah, and
We call that a segue.
yeah,
That was a beautiful one.
Right, you still watch The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah, and I think if I can just real fast, I think him leaving might be one of the best things for that show going forward.
See, I don't know if I can continue watching. I might watch half the season when he's not on there anymore, but I really don't plan to continue watching that after he leaves.
I think it's the beginning of the end.
Yeah, because there's a couple ways you can go about it, however they want to move the story along for the show. But what else does he Rick Grimes reminds me of that fool Jax from Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
He walks into a room and he's going to kill somebody, and then he walks out with his gangster lean, and and they ride motorcycles. Well, Rick Grimes is, we're going to survive, and then we're going to fight these guys. and then we kill those guys, and then we're going to survive again. And it's just kind of recycled too much.
Kirk,
I don't know.
Kirkwood's always said that Rick Grimes is fully susceptible to even die in the comic. I mean, it hasn't happened in the comics, but it's like anybody can die, which has been the great thing that's been about The Walking Dead is all these characters be attached to.
Right.
They die.
I know one of the jokes that I always have with Dan is like we always talk about poor Glenn. Like that the show's on, I was like after he's died, it was like poor Glenn, poor Glenn.
Yeah, because nobody saw that coming. So all that's left now is Daryl. But I don't know. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's a change for the show. It might actually make it better. Because you don't know what to expect.
That show needs something. Because I'm just
it needs something big.
Well,
Carl
let's
wasn't
ask ourselves
enough.
the question: was Happy Days better when Richie Cunningham left?
No,
man, we jumped the
sucked.
shark. You know, with the captain. What's his name? That you know what I'm talking about? That guy that was the captain. That's the whole reason for the jump in the shark shit.
Was that '70s show better when Topher Grace left?
No, I don't think I got.
I think the only show that got better when their main character left was MASH when Henry Blake died. I mean, and that's a rare occasion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But like Henry Blake wasn't also the main focus. It was like if Hawkeye left, that show would have it ended.
Trapper left.
Yeah,
and I mean it maintained a steady following. It was pretty decent with Honeycutt, but yeah, if it had been Hawkeye, it would have been a whole different story.
Yeah.
All right, you watching the show, Rick, or no?
I'm not watching the show.
Okay, so
I'm playing devil's advocate.
That's fine. Where do we go from here? Because we heard handful of episodes that he's going to be in for season 9.
Yeah,
Negan's still alive. Where do we go from here?
You give it to Negan.
You can give it to Negan. You think he's
what's her name? Maggie.
Oh no, she's scheduled to leave too.
See that
because she booked something else, so she's only going to be featured in a handful of episodes too. Because I don't remember what she signed on to do, but she signed on to do something else.
Is she finally
going
to have the baby? That's what I want to know.
Pregnant for like 3 years.
How it's running, that she'll probably end up dying giving birth or something. Or the baby will come out and hit her over the head with a bat.
It's going to be like a remake of Dawn of the Dead Baby.
Oh, yeah, the Dawn of the Dead Baby.
Sweet.
Yeah.
No, you hand the show off to Negan, and you make it the good bad guy.
You make him that anti-hero still more than he was before?
People love him.
Yeah. No, I got to admit, man, he does. Jeffrey Dean Morgan
solid.
Is very solid in that role.
Yeah, that's a great role. I can't. If he was to leave, I would be disappointed because you need him in that.
I mean, I don't watch it, but I know the character and I follow along. But like you're saying, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, those are the characters he does well.
Yeah.
That kind of asshole.
Well, shit.
Yeah. One of the greatest TV moments I could recall is his intro on that show.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. That's a pretty good call.
Like, do you remember any, like, if you're talking about MASH, I mean, there was the what was it, Hawkeye and talking about the chicken lady, and it turned out it was a baby or something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Great moment in television.
To shut it up. Yeah.
This was a guy who captured everybody on that one Sunday night. And then they came back and then just killed everybody. Christina didn't watch the show, watched that one episode, and she was sick and was stuck on that show. Like, it was incredible.
And she binge watched the whole thing?
No.
No, but you can catch on from there.
Yeah.
You know what? The Walking Dead is such a show. You don't have to watch from the beginning to figure out what's going on. Bunch of zombies chasing you, try to survive. Because they go through enough characters, you can kind of catch on what's going on. And at this point, it's been so many seasons and so much has happened, I don't remember what's gone on in the early days. No, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
This can still be edited. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
I've been watching it. Geez, how long has it been? 8 years now?
Yeah.
I've been watching for the last 8 years, so I would kind of like to have I would like to kind of have it neatly wrapped up.
10
years?
No, season 10.
Oh, season 10.
That's it.
Yeah, but it's been on for 8 years.
I know, but you come up at season 9, get through season 9. I think they'll try one more to see how it rolls without Rick, and then call it a day. Season 10.
I mean, I'm even happy with the Sopranos ending, where it just ends, and you don't know actually where it goes because and I was telling people, it was like, well, why does it happen? I go, because life just ends. There's no like definition that just goes on, and you don't have to know the whole story. There's lots of in real life. There's no resolution for everything.
But the end of Walking Dead's going to have to be solid.
Yeah,
they're going to have to do something like a giant explosion and what have you.
Will they find the cure?
Maybe.
Or did you? I was watching because I was talking about Andrew Lincoln talks about how he wants to die, that he's fighting. He gets bit. He says, "Well, let me go out as best I can." He keeps on fighting, and he keeps on fighting. He's all, "I'm immune. I can live. I'm the cure.
And then
Don't we all want that? Like,
And then he figures it out, and that's it.
like that's the ending.
Yeah, that
okay.
he's a cure, and then they it cuts to like an epilogue.
Fade to black.
Rainbow.
Done.
No,
Unicorns.
no, it cuts away, and that people are safe. And
Yeah, we get 10 years later, and all that. All of a sudden, all this stuff with that dream
back.
sequence makes sense. Yeah, we see Glenn hanging out with, Sophia, and they're all just chilling at a big friggin' picnic outside.
Herschel.
Yeah,
I miss Herschel.
T-Dog, or what's that fool's name?
Oh, T-Dog.
T-Bag.
T-Dog.
What's his name?
Hey, no, I always want to know what happened to the Vatos.
The nurses fool, the orderlies.
yeah.
The orderlies fool. I don't know fool. I'm sure they had to run.
I go, what the hell? They got lowriders over in Atlanta?
Hey man, we're all over the place,
I know.
even in Iowa.
I don't have to say a lot more about the way I feel about Ric Flair. No respect, no honor. There is no honor among thieves in the first place. He put hard times on Dusty Rhodes and his family. You don't know what hard times are, Daddy. Hard times are when the textile workers around this country are out of work and got 4 or 5 kids and can't pay their wages, can't buy their food. Hard times are when the auto workers are out of work and they tell them go home. And hard times are when a man has worked at a job 30 years. 30 years. They give him a watch, kick him in the butt, and say, hey, a computer took your place, Daddy. That's hard time. That's hard time.
So you guys have Disneyland passes. Have you guys been to the Pixar Fest? And what'd you guys think?
Multiple times now.
Yeah, a few. I finally did all the actual stuff though, like the parades and fireworks and all that.
Yeah, I've done the fireworks, which the projections, the show, like that. It's a lot of fun. It's all the Pixar stuff, and of course the big theme with it is it's friendship.
Yeah, man, it hits you in the feels. We see Buzz Lightyear fly over the castle, and then you see the Up House fly over the castle.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
projections are pretty cool. People legit cry. It's
wow.
It's almost embarrassing.
Because I seen like online, this goes, who's the Scully to your Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then I seen the Sadness and the other girl, like they're saying who's
Joy.
your best Joy. Who's your counterpart? So
Mhm.
I seen those, so friendship. And how's the parade?
The parade is the Pixar Play Parade is in Disneyland right now. It used to be in California Adventure.
Uh-huh.
So it's honestly one of my favorite daytime parades. Soundsational is fun, but the Pixar Play Parade is it's fun. And right now, it's such the hot stuff, Pixar over the last 15 years, 20 years, that's what the kids see, and they recognize that. And they're like, this is cool.
yeah.
And
It's
they get into it.
that's because that's been the hot thing.
Better
It's
than
no
the-
longer the princesses and stuff.
Better than the First Order march.
I missed that.
Watched that.
Although-
I watched that too.
Although I did catch the other day when I was there because I was there on Monday. There was a lot of stormtroopers walking around interacting with people. They interacted with Matthew a couple of times. He just kind of was like, "I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say." What did you see, Ray, when you went?
Elastigirl.
You saw Elastigirl?
It was fantastic. I've seen that parade. I don't know how many times over at California Adventure, but this was the first time I was up close. I couldn't tell if I had to ask Christina if her butt was real. I mean, Elastigirl's got ass. Like,
You got to ask Christina if her butt was real?
No, because she was tall, right? And
Well,
so,
Mr. Incredible needed to work on leg day.
yeah, sure they did. But Elastigirl's coming down the pipe, and I'm looking. I'm like, oh shit! Like, is that? And I was like, is that real?
This guy's got me watching cartoon characters now.
And then I come to find out, I'm not the only one.
Oh,
who's
really?
Thinking this, yeah. A couple other dudes. I was like, you see Elastigirl? Yeah. I was like, is that shit real? Because I can't tell by the height. But
Are you one of those people who thought Bugs Bunny was attractive when he dressed up like a girl bunny?
he dressed up as a girl bunny.
Yeah.
No, that was his sister. That was Bugina.
Yeah. No, did you actually hang around and wait to watch the parade, or how did you handle that?
We got there about 10
Because you
10
said
minutes
you said you
prior.
had you were up close or something like
Yeah,
that.
we got there. We were right in front of Abraham Lincoln, the Abraham Lincoln show.
Abraham
House.
Lincoln.
Yeah, 10 minutes before it started.
Yeah.
We just walked up and it was fine.
I walked up to I watched the 6:00 show, and I walked up over to the terrace by Small World,
Yeah.
and I just found one of the top terrace, some seats right against a place to stand right against the railing, and it wasn't even an issue. Like it was real quick. That same day, that's all I did because I went on Monday and it was really busy because I think it was senior activity day and a day where all the like promotion from middle school, kind of like their activity day too. So I went over to DCA and watched Paint the Night at DCA. Have you seen Paint the Night at DCA?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
It was
That
really
is
good. Another spot where
Such an
like
amazing one.
I just walked up and found a place to stand.
Yeah.
It wasn't even an issue. I think parades are actually better at DCA because there is so much room.
There is.
Because the
So
streets are so
much.
much wider and it's set up to be. It's set up for that, built from the ground up for that. So it wasn't even an issue. Had a great thing. Watched about 3/4 of that parade, and then hopped back over to Disneyland to catch the fireworks from the flagpole on Main Street. Now the week before I watched it in front of the castle, like behind the hub.
Yeah.
And this time I decided I kind of want to see the stuff they do on the buildings. Wasn't the greatest spot. All the fireworks were still good, and I could still see stuff on the castle. But I'm gonna have to find a place like right in the middle of Main Street next time I do it.
If your goal is to just watch projections, either do it from Small World or do it on watch Phantasmic, and then just stay right there on the water just to watch projections.
You know, I've never actually watched it from Phantasmic. That's just not
the
just not something
fireworks
I've done.
themselves are good, but they're not great. They're not
Yeah.
castle. They're not castle quality fireworks. But if you want to see that show first and then transition over to actually seeing the fireworks firsthand and big, that's the way to go.
Okay,
That's the way.
good thing. Oh, go ahead.
I had just another experience there that was awesome. But go ahead. I can always add that.
Oh well, if it's gonna be attraction, go for it because I did something else that I'm not sure you guys have done yet.
It was Nick and I went over to Tom Sawyer's Island.
Oh, yeah?
Pirates. I haven't been there, and I couldn't.
Oh, it's
tell
fun.
You.
It's fun, but it's the kids run around to
Hey,
place.
that's
We
a
had
great
a
place in the summer.
blast.
That's a great place in the summertime for you to take him to just kind of run around.
Dude, we were there for an hour.
Yeah.
And we mobbed it. Like, we were sweaty by the time we were done.
heck yeah.
We were having a great old time. We
You
went
can
through
find
every
some. There's shady spots for you to chill when they kind of get kind of hot.
Yeah.
And then you just make sure you got water, and then there's the whole big old treasure thing in the back.
Yeah.
So
we hit the whole thing.
yeah.
And he's
Once-
like, I want to go back. I'm like,
Once
yeah.
you hit the front right there, where like the stages for Phantasmic
Yeah.
and stuff, you start exploring right there. You start finding all the shells from the fireworks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't see any of
They
that. We
shoot out
kinda-
the projection.
Oh, really?
things.
Yeah.
It's the cardboard ones that are like
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
tops of the
It
pieces.
look like the legal fireworks.
They look like a bunch of like just circular pieces of like a cardboard, like it'd be the end of a paper towel tube with a hole in it. You start finding them around. You're like, what the heck is this? And then you process. Oh shoot, it's the fireworks.
Yeah.
Have you guys had any of the food over there for the fest?
I did not. I have not yet, actually.
Did we eat there?
We did the churro challenge.
Oh, did
we
you do
didn't
the
do
churro
any
challenge?
challenges
We did
or
the
anything,
churro
no.
challenge.
You know what I did though? I did use the mobile app to order food. I'll explain that real quick.
Oh, you used it.
I did use it.
Christina's all about that thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
she used it,
Yeah,
dude. It's so awesome.
No, she hasn't used it yet, but she's ready.
Okay,
She's
okay.
ready to fire
So
on
check it out. So I was there with actually I was with my kids and I ran into Alex for a little bit, and then I ran into Diggs and Michael from Mousepire. What's up, guys? And I hung out with Diggs.
Alex from Orange Circle Optometry.
Orange Circle Optometry.
I, my darling.
So I was hanging out with Diggs, and I was telling him, hey, man, I'm going to get some food in a little while. You know what? I think I'm going to try that app because Matthew's he just likes chicken nuggets pretty much.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'm going to eat at Galactic Grill. He wanted to eat at Pizza Planet, which, like, the decor there is kind of cool, but I could do a better job with my bed sheet, like where the aliens did the layover. But it's supposed to look like that. But I told him, you're not going to eat anything there. Do you want chicken nuggets? Yeah, okay, then at Galactic Grill it is. Hopped on the app. You pick where you're going to eat. You pick a time, and then you order your stuff. So I had a chicken sandwich that was like one of those Tyson chicken sandwiches, but I don't want coleslaw on it.
Yeah.
So you can customize it there in the app, get your drinks, and it says, okay, so you're all done. It charges your credit card right there. Somehow I have a credit card on file. I think it's from Disney Store stuff.
That or from your renewal, your AP.
Yeah.
You do the monthly.
For some of them. Oh, maybe. Okay,
Maybe
I never
it's-
thought
you
about
should
that.
check about
Get
Okay,
you by
yeah.
the balls there too. Huh?
Yep. But anyway, did that, so we were done. So ordered it, had some time to kill because I ordered it like maybe 2 hours in advance, knowing, okay, this would be a good time to eat because I can eat and then go watch that parade that I was
Yeah.
just telling you about. So that's what we did. Ended up getting on Finding Nemo and realized I'm going to miss my window of when I'm
Oh.
supposed to pick up my food. So I wondered what would happen because it's like, I thought, okay, maybe I could still, because what you're supposed to do is when you get there, you actually click a button on the app that says "I'm here," so they start making your food right there. So I tried to do it, and it tells me your window has expired. You can either order again, or we can refund you. So I was like, well, shit, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
So like, I'm gonna order this bad boy again. How does this work? It lets you pick another time. So I got lucky in the fact that there was another time slot. Like I was in another time slot. It says you can pick up from now till this time, which was about 25 minutes later. So I did that. Some connectivity issues. That's Disneyland.
Yeah.
But once again, and I did come out of the submarine where there is no reception. So once
Did they
it
charge
actually
you twice?
no.
Okay.
Once it actually happened, I got it through. I sat down, I found a table, and about 5 minutes later, I got the notification that said your food's ready. So you take your order number up to a window. It tells you what window to go to. I walked up there. I'm the only one standing there. They said, "Hi, are you picking up an order?" I said, "Yes." They said, "What's your number?" "Here it is." Okay. They had just brought out my food and said, "Here's your food."
Nice.
It was that quick, dude. I'm all about it. If I can help it, I will not eat anywhere else. It was
Yeah.
so quick.
See, it's
Is
hard.
that park wide or is it just certain restaurants?
It's certain restaurants, but it's a good chunk of the restaurants. The sit-down places, you can't do that at a sit-down restaurant. Any place that's like counter service food.
Okay. So I get my whatchamacallit, my clam chowder and bread bowl.
Yeah, I think you can. I don't know.
Maybe from boating. I don't think you'd be able to do it at the French Market. But yeah. So just this weekend, they announced the changes to the Disneyland Resort Passport too.
Dun,
you
dun,
wanna- you
dun.
You want to get into that one?
Pish posh.
2-3 minutes at least.
Pish posh.
I can. I'll
I go
I'll
hour
start
and a
off
half,
with
but
this.
okay.
I'll start off with this.
Save that for mouse pair.
Yeah.
So
Mouse Power on Tuesday.
being with somebody who actually works for the mouse,
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff that they're doing, they've been doing it already. They've just been doing it to the employees.
Yes, that's
that's
totally
what I've
true.
heard.
So a lot of, I mean, I'm talking to people at work. Some people are cool with it. Some people are like, obviously they're upset. Can't blame them. Certainly can't blame them. But then I kind of hit them with that, and I tell them, you know, you guys have to understand something. They've actually been doing this for a while. You, as the APs, just never had to deal with it.
Yeah.
Now they're making you deal with it. It's just kind of the way it is.
It's just not even when you look at it, it's not even a huge thing.
It's really not.
It's not a huge thing if you have anything deluxe or higher. It's not a huge thing.
How often do you actually go to both parks?
Every time.
Do you every time?
Every time.
Because
Yeah.
I don't. In fact, I most of the people I know, they just go for a couple hours to one.
Yeah.
Maybe they do shoot over to DCA or to Disneyland. If 10, 15 minutes, you maybe go on a ride, and then that's it. They're usually like, fine, we're just gonna catch it on our way out.
Yeah.
What pass do you and what do pass do you guys have?
The Supreme.
The Supreme one. There's no worries for you. then.
No, I don't even care.
There's no worries for you.
It depends on what we're doing. We'll go if we do a 6-hour stint at DCA. We somehow end up at Disneyland, or we'll go to Disneyland for 2 hours and we'll go home. It just kind of depends on the day, how hot it is, how many people
Yeah.
are there.
That's my day all the time.
But for the last probably 5 to 10 trips, we've gone to both. We go to Disneyland, then we'll go eat at California Adventure, or we'll get reservations somewhere in Disneyland. We'll start off in California Adventure, move over to.
Yeah,
Wherever.
we've done that before.
Yeah.
So it's what the
But
kids
but
want
the
to
thing
do.
is, we have
It's
the
a case-by-case
luxury of doing that.
situation.
It is. Like summer coming up. I'm noticing, and it's not as busy as it was a few years ago during certain summer days, that I would show up on a Wednesday and it was like 100% packed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it's like it's not so bad, and maybe that's just rose-colored glasses, but it really is. I think I see the difference in like certain passes are getting shifted around
Oh yeah.
to where the people.
For sure.
Well,
you know,
the thing that came out was that in June of next year, basically the SoCal ones they're blocked.
Yeah.
The deluxe one, which is what my wife and kids have like, I don't know, is it 13 days or something where they can only do like 13 days they can do Disneyland and like 17 days
Yeah.
that they can do only DCA or something like that. It's a fair split, and you
Not
see
that big a
why.
deal.
Because with the announcement that Galaxy's Edge is going to open in summer of 2019, they're testing that out to say like because it's going to be so packed over there, you know, to try to limit who comes in and stuff.
I'm not
But-
going to that until probably 2021.
I
I'm
mean,
not
we'll,
even
we'll,
trying- I'm
we'll
not
get
even
in there.
worried.
You'd be surprised. I think it's gonna be
If I
crazy
go
busy
solo,
like everything else is.
If I go solo,
Oh, I see what you did
I'm
there.
in. I'll smash and just get on everything. Single rider, jump over people. choke somebody out. You know,
See, even Guardians when it opened, I mean, with as much as you heard, oh, it's a 4-hour wait, 5-hour wait, bro. I went. I didn't spend more than an hour in
it
line.
was 15 minutes last Saturday.
Oh wow,
I haven't even gone on it yet because
you have kids.
That drop, yeah. No, I don't think it's going to be that bad, but everybody's going to want to go. The wait for Pirates that just reopened was crazy long too.
Hold on, I have a funny story about the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. So we were on the last time I was on. There was this little kid from Australia and his dad were next to me. However, in between it was cool, me and him right next to each other, but between him and his dad, the seatbelt was malfunctioned, so it was blocked off. So the dad was on the other side of the seat, so it was just me and this kid, and the kid was nervous as hell. And I told the dad, I'm like, look, man, I'll swap with you guys. I'm cool with it. He said, no, it's okay. So, all right. So we go through the ride. This kid's got a death grip on my arm the entire time.
I'm not surprised.
I felt bad. Hold on. All right. Just looking down at it very awkwardly. Christine's on the other side of me laughing. It was funny.
That's funny. I think bottom line kind of is there's enough to do at both parks that if you can't get into one, there's plenty to do at the other
there's
one.
enough to do at downtown Disney.
Actually, I got something to throw in on this. Have you guys seen the new redhead pirate yet floating around?
I saw pictures of her. I haven't been to the park yet.
Friday was
the first day.
Yeah, and there's
As we
a couple
record
videos
this, it's
online.
Sunday.
There's been a couple videos online. I just haven't watched them, so I'm like, wait till I can see it live, which will be a couple years.
Now, this one, I don't want to get into it too deep. I'll save that for Mouse Pirate, but the look of this one doesn't look quite the same as the one in Florida. Did you notice that?
The
Any
face
pictures?
character
The face
or the
character.
actual-
No, the actual character. The actual animatronic.
Oh,
Everybody
I
gave it a
haven't
hard
looked.
time saying it looked like a cross between Trump and Hillary Clinton.
The one here?
The one
here?
in Florida.
Oh,
No, because that's been open for a while.
Yeah.
Face gonna fall off?
This one didn't necessarily seem to look like that. But you know what? Know what he's talking about is that, in once you go past
I've heard everybody talk about it.
Which one?
The Dark Grotto right before the
Yeah.
get into the
No,
thing.
dude, everybody's, the redhead and like the lines and the trading card, but nobody's talked about the fact that the
original
no
audio
fear
is back.
have you of evil curses, says
He's
you.
seen
That
the
part.
cursed treasure.
Yeah, that
Is that
part.
back?
It's back.
Back.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Davy Jones is gone, and it's that again.
Oh, wow.
No, there's an animatronic there now too. Yeah,
That's what
there's
I've
an
heard, is that
animatronic there
there's
too.
There's a new character scene there too.
In the
but-
tunnel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in that
In
dark
the tunnel.
grotto before you come out to where the pirates are live
No
again.
way.
It's some weird angle. It's angled off or something like that. I haven't seen the video.
When we're done with the podcast, let's go down and go check it out.
For real, right? I'm off this week, bro.
Hey.
I actually think I'm gonna head down. I might take out Wednesday to go check.
Are
that out.
you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on summer vacation, bro.
Could you be back?
I'm
by,
on summer vacation.
Back here by like 1:30.
I got to get my kids up in the morning, but that's possibly. Actually, I wonder if my wife. I'll let you know. We might make that solo
Might
trip
be
just to
able
check that out and come back.
I think I might be able to swing that.
All right,
Quick,
yeah, all right.
Quick in and out. Yeah.
We'll talk in a little while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for that too because that was one of I love that portion of the ride.
Yeah, that was the best. Every time I go through it, I'm always like, perhaps he knows too much,
Yeah.
and then no one knows what I'm talking about, and I'm like,
Yeah.
It's kind of
Properly warn ye be, says
Yeah.
I love that part, dude. Excited for that.
Nice.
All right, we got a song today. This song is from a band called the Gamagles. They're a horror punk band from Staten Island, New York. You can find them on Facebook.com/Gamagles, on Instagram at GamagulesNY, or at Gamagles1.bandcamp.com. This song's called Frenzy. It's actually pretty cool. Give it a listen. Check it out. Check them out.
Come on, baby, why? Won't you be a masochist and do the things I like? I'm a orphan in the
Hey, Rick, so you went to that Curiosity shop in Riverside?
Yeah, Riverside is home to its very own curiosity shop now. It's called Dreadful Curiosities. I went opening day, so they were still setting up. You could still smell the paint. It was fresh. Awesome, dude. I picked up a cross. It's made of bones.
Uh-huh.
So,
Real bone, or is it like ceramic?
I'm not 100% sure. Alicia says it's real bone, so I trust her.
Right on.
They have shrunken heads. There's a coffin there, for sale.
Are they from Ned? Ned Shrunken
Shrunken Ned. They got their taxidermy, their bats. It looks really cool.
That's rad.
As a matter of fact,
we're actually looking for stuff for the shop.
Yeah, you should check it out, man.
Man, that's Santeria.
I was talking to the owner too. I've been trying to convince my friend. You guys know Ed. His wife, her dad was a dentist, so he's got all kinds of she's got all kinds of old dental equipment, like the stuff that goes in those curiosity shops. So I'm trying to.
You mean those what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And what are you doing
the
with
antique equipment? So we were telling the owner. I want to say Valerie's her name. We're telling her about it, and she's like, "You need to have her, come on down, and I'll talk to her. I'm willing to buy it. So if you've got the stuff, man, sounds like you can buy, sell, trade.
Hey, everybody's got a price
for the $1 Million Man. Money.
Definitely worth checking out. It's right there. It's on Magnolia, so it's easy to get to.
Awesome,
between just past Van Buren.
Now, how far away is this from the Maid shop?
It's
about 15 minutes.
Probably about a 10-minute drive.
Yeah.
Where exactly is this place at?
It's on Magnolia Street. So if you're closer to the Stater Brothers #1 right there on Magnolia.
Ghetto-ass Stater Brothers.
That's not a ghetto one, dude.
I know what you're talking about.
It's older, but it's not ghetto.
What are the main cross streets?
He said just past Van Buren, right before Jackson.
That's what Playas was.
Yes,
There's
Playas.
a barber shop that's in that same little block.
Gotcha.
Is it Afros and Fades?
No.
I know which one he's talking
It's not the boardroom. It's something like that, though.
No, it's Riverside Shave Company.
Hey,
It's Riverside Shave
Is
Company.
over there. It's like in that area.
Edit that out. They're not advertising.
You
with
said
us.
You said it was before Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Jackson.
you
and
pass Van Buren, you
Buren.
pass the Vibe.
Yeah,
The only Jackson I liked was O'Shea Jackson. Piss on that.
Wait, past the
What about
Vibe.
Samuel L?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
past
Samuel.
the Vibe.
Mother.
So you're going towards like UCR
Infinity War
Yes.
spoiler.
on what street again? I'm sorry.
On Magnolia.
Man, yeah, and you know where it's at. It is that barbershop. I can't think of the name of it, though. And I'm not going to advertise it here, but because it's not Crown and Stash, one of our sponsors. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Dad, that's rad. That'd be cool. I want to go check
Yeah,
that.
go
I want to
check
go
it
check
out,
it
man.
out.
How dreadful.
I know they've been doing. They were a part of the Magnolia Center Marketplace. They would just put up a tent and shop
Oh,
there
that's
for
rad.
years. So I don't know if they're still doing that now that they have
Sure.
their shop.
Sure.
They closed early enough. I assume they would, but definitely go check it out. It's a cool little shop.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at the shop the other day. I was just while I was cutting, and I'm thinking to myself, man, there's a lot of space on the walls. I need to put more stuff up.
Last space on your walls?
At the shop?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I need to condense. Okay, so the red walls inside the shop, we have red walls. As
Blood
much as I
red.
want, as much as I like that red, it really was just the foundation of. I was going to cover it with all kinds of shit, anyways. So I'm at the point now where I have a lot of stuff. Excuse me, but I need to condense all of it because I want to add more stuff because I want to eventually cover all the walls. I just want you to barely be able to see any red on the walls. I want everything else to be just posters and everything. Any cool things that I can get. I just printed a picture. A friend that we went to high school with, Jamela Pena.
Yeah.
What up, Mel Gibbs? He was caddying for for Mike Lopez, one of our barbers at a golf tournament, and yeah, it's got a really awesome picture of him. It was
Did he
pretty
wash
cool.
his balls?
He did wash his balls. So yeah, he was wearing the same getup they wear at the Masters, which is an all white jumpsuit.
Yeah. Did Mike post a picture of that?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I
and
saw
then he also underneath his shirt, he was wearing it's a shirt from Caddyshack. Guns don't kill people. I do.
I do.
And he was wearing a camouflage bucket hat. So
Champion.
I have all of it one spot, holding Mike's golf bag. So we got a picture of it. I put it up. It's at the shop. I'm trying to figure out where I want to put it because I'm looking around. I'm like, man, I can't put it there. I've already got stuff there. Okay, it would look kind of funky right there. I don't know if that's a good idea. So I want to move it to another spot. I think I'm just gonna have to start moving stuff around.
Sounds like my classroom. I don't got any more wall space left either.
Dude, I really am thinking like I'm just gonna take one night after I'm done working, just hang out and do it. You know, I won't leave the shop. I'll get in the shop at around like 9:30 in the morning. I won't leave till about 2 in the morning.
That's a long night, man.
That'd be like old times.
I think we should all be there helping you,
dude. So
can you stay up all night anymore?
I have a really funny story about that. So one time, me and Mike it was when we were doing, I think we were just getting ready to bring in some shelves. We needed to make space in a certain area. So we started moving posters, started just, moving things around. Shorty comes in and we wind up smoking some weed, hanging out, throw on some music. I put on the Doors. I just think, I don't know, I'm high.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're high and you want music. It's
I'm
the
just
Doors.
relaxing.
Yeah.
We're
Bob
just,
Marley.
Dude, this is literally like 10 o'clock at night. So Shorty's just standing there staring at the wall. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And he's like, I can't take this. I go, what do you mean you can't take this? He goes, dude, that music, put on something else. He's like, this is just too much for me right now. I was like, all right, okay, no problem. So
He's seeing shit.
So I threw on Netflix. And I'm like, okay, something upbeat, something that'll make us laugh. We're all going to be working anyways. It'll be background noise, and we'll all get a laugh together. So I put on a Sam Kinison stand-up special.
Oh, shit.
So 10, 15 minutes into it, he starts with this, ow, ah, ah. And then I just look over, and you see Shorty. Looks like he's going to hyperventilate. I'm like, dude, are you okay? He goes,
Shorty does not have good stories of getting high in that shop, dude. Every time this guy mentions Shorty doing something in the shop, it never has a good ending.
You know what? Yeah, it never does. We try. Hey, I'm always swinging for the fences for him. But yeah, I mean, even Mike's telling him, dude, come on, relax, man. We're moving posters. We're moving pictures.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing. And he's like, dude, change this shit right now. It was funny. Like, dude, put something else on then. Whatever you want. Whatever's going to,
The Doors movie.
The Doors movie.
With Apocalypse Now.
Narrated by Sam Kinison.
Yeah.
Shit was hilarious.
Time for a break?
Time for break. Cool.
What's that?
That's a swear jar. Every time someone swears, you put a quarter in it.
Who gets the money?
I don't know. We'll use it to buy something for the office, like a case of Bud Light or something.
Fucking awesome. You, Bob.
You, Jim.
Eric, I have a bag on line 3 for you.
Can I borrow your pen? Can I borrow your f***ing pen?
Will the owner of a white station wagon please go yourself?
We're gonna go down there, and we're gonna some ass. We're gonna some. We're gonna some.
Poop.
Doesn't count.
Shut the up!
I am so proud of you, mother suckers. Here.
All right, it's time for a beer share. And this month, we got a beer share with a story. Crack 'em. All right, what we have today is Stone Brewing Collector's Edition, No Effects Pumpkin Drublick. So, if you have been keeping abreast of everything that came out of the Roseanne deal, No Effects threw their bullshit in there too. Anybody else want to go through the story? You want me to go through it?
So basically what happened at Punk Rock Bowling, Fat Mike basically said, and goes, isn't something about the Las Vegas shooter, and goes, well, at least they were country fans.
I watched the video. Did you guys watch the video?
I did actually.
So at the end of the song, Fat Mike goes on and says, wow, we just made it through a song about Muslims without getting shot.
Yeah.
And then he goes, oh, I guess that only happens to country fans.
Yeah, and then Eric Melvin chimed in something about the other line. Oh, at least it was country fans and not punk fans.
Yeah.
Is what he said. Now,
Actually, both Eric's chimed in at some point. The only one who kept quiet was El Jefe.
I thought the other Eric actually tried to shut him up.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think Stinky actually tried to shut him up.
That's the drummer, right?
This is going too far. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember hearing something that goes like, "Hey, quieter" or something like that.
Basically, if you know punk rock, you know that Fat Mike and NoFX are full of shit, and they're gonna say stuff to piss you off.
I mean, they named their album "White Trash, 2 Heebs and a Bean." I mean, the guy wanted white trash, 2 kikes and a bean.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how
one of their album covers is a guy fingering a sheep. It's a drawing of a guy fingering a sheep, but you know what it was they said it. It was an off the wall comment. It was meant to be funny, as is all NoFX stuff. But then they kind of realized later, because they got a little backlash for it, that you know what, we probably did cross the line.
Yeah,
we probably did cross the line. So they released a statement that said, "We realized what we did was in bad taste, and we will release an official statement when the band can collectively come up with something as a statement." So a few days later, it came out, and the statement basically said, "You know, we made a mistake. It was a joke in bad taste. We can't, as a band who asked for people to get along and show a degree of civility, back what we said. So we fucked up." That's basically what it is. But Stone partnered with NoFX to make this beer, this IPA.
And this is the second year in a row. It's actually a hoppy lager, which is like the way it's fermented is different than like what most traditional ales. I think it has bottom fermentation, if I'm not correct, and it's hard to do for most beers. So it's a hoppy lager, so it's just a lager like what you get from like Budweiser with a lot of hops.
So this is what it says on the can. Now, it's meant for the Punkland Drublic Festival, which happened last October and is actually going on right now, which NoFX actually got kicked off of.
Yes.
Actually got kicked off of that, and they filled it. The Descendants was one of the bands that filled in. But on the side of the can, it says, "This beer was brewed as a collaboration between Stone Brewing and Fat Mike, who showed up and mostly just got in the way." Which that's pretty much the humor of NoFX. Okay, so it is a hoppy lager, so let's check it out. Cheers.
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 Tastes like bigotry.
You know, honestly, it's not bad.
No, I actually jumped the gun and started drinking while you guys were talking. Sorry.
You're not the only one.
Well, what Stone came out and did now, and Stone is a well-known name in brewing.
Stone is
We've talked about them on this podcast before.
They're probably the biggest independent brewery because a lot of them small, what we think of as craft beer breweries have been bought out by one of the bigger breweries.
Yes.
So Stone is probably one of the biggest ones now, if not the biggest. They've come out and kind of said like, we're not going to make any more. Drink the beer you can. We're gonna. They're gonna donate the money to charity now, right?
They're gonna donate it actually back to the Vegas Metropolitan Police Department.
Yeah,
which helps with the survivors of the Highway 91 Fest.
So I thought that was cool of them. Yeah, I mean,
it's the reaction you get nowadays. I mean, we kind of hinted at a little while ago. You know, Roseanne made a comment. She blamed it on Ambien or whatever, but right away it was, okay, the show is off the air. We're not going to handle this type of anger and hate.
Yeah,
and Stone did the same thing. It's the same response.
Yeah,
Stone doesn't need to. It wasn't a collaboration. To be honest with you, NoFX isn't losing any money because NoFX probably isn't making any money on this beer because it's just a collaboration to try to sell a few extra beers. So
yeah,
but they're going to lose money on that tour because
they're going to lose money
as well as I do.
Yeah.
Most money for bands is made on tour with merch sales and things like that.
And I mean, NoFX, I think they're probably big enough where they could recover. They still gonna have their traditional following. I mean, a lot punks that are into them are still gonna be into them. They might not like what they said, but I mean, I don't like Phil Spector as a person, but I think he's a fantastic producer. So I mean,
well, I knew quite a few people at that Highway 91 Fest, so it hit me a little. It hit me a little close to home, and I'm still pissed off at them, to be honest. And I've been a NoFX fan for a long time.
You have every right to feel that way. That's why we are where we are.
Yeah.
You know?
Most of us that saw the comment just kind of knew. I mean, I knew it was in bad taste, but I knew it was NoFX and it was kind of expected. It was just like it just said some random shit that came into their mind at the time.
It's not expected for them to say it, but you could see that with their personality that they're going to say something outrageous,
stupid shit like that.
And
they always have been stupid.
And here's the thing now,
you need to watch,
and they do suck live.
Yes, they do.
And nowadays, with everybody having camera phones and everything, instant information, stuff's not an escape anymore. I mean, geez, I mean, you had to sneak a camera in to go see Gigi Allen, and people got stole those that had that footage. And I think what Gigi Allen did was probably more outrageous than what NoFX is ever going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one got on there because it was covered by like TMZ and it was right on the heels of the Roseanne thing. So it kind of made it was a big deal at the time. It's kind of died down though. So I don't know. They're not going to lose any money in the long run. They'll be fine. Fat Mike's already a fucking millionaire anyway with Fat Records and.
Yeah, that's another thing that I was explaining to people. It's like you have to understand this is not going to damage them one way or another.
No, it won't at all.
I go, the guy owns a record label that's extremely successful. Who knows other businesses? I know he owns real estate. So it's
the Punk and Drublic Festival might be done, which kind of sucks.
Yeah,
that was pretty. On our very first podcast, I think I talked about how I worked that festival, and how cool it was with how all those beer tastings and stuff.
Well, you've got Travis Barker's festival that he's doing now in the same area, right? It's because
was that the Back to the Beach thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I have a friend that just went to that. He said it was actually pretty cool.
That was the ska one, or
that was that ska one, the one with Goldfinger.
Did you see I think Travis Barker played drums for the band on that.
No,
for Aquabats.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he did a whole set with Aquabats.
You know, he played with Goldfinger too.
Yeah, I was gonna say he did Goldfinger, he did Aquabats.
What's
or he
funny
did
is
someone
like
else too.
Being so into the Aquabats, being in the Aquabats from like a long time ago, I said, I don't think I saw Travis Barker with
no, we
the
did.
Aquabats.
We did.
We may not have thought about it, but we sure we did.
We sure did. It was at the showcase too. Because were you there that night that they took a break? They literally took a break in the middle of their set. It was so freaking hot in the showcase. It literally said, "Okay, guys, we're taking a 10-minute break."
Now that I remember, I think
no
I was.
AC.
Yeah, yeah. That was Travis Barker playing drums then because he ended up taking off his shirt and he had a bunch of tattoos.
I remember the drummer taking off the shirt.
Yeah,
getting hit in the face with like powdered milk and.
My head was burning.
They had tiki torches on stage, bro. It was 100 degrees in there already, and they had tiki torches on stage. Literally opened the back door and we're like, "Guys, we're taking a break. Let's all go outside for like 10 minutes and then come back." And everybody did. We all went outside for 10 minutes. We all came back inside. I was worried too. Like, man, is Isaac going to close the doors and like,
he was known for
everyone.
I got screwed at that AFI show one time when the
I got screwed too that
yes
night.
AFI and Strife, dude.
In
we got screwed in the rain. Fire marshal came down and was like, "Nope, too many people." I was the next person to be let in. We were next in line for the next show, and
it was like 2 hours away. We're like, yeah, we're out of here.
Yeah, went to Denny's instead. Man, fucking Denny's. Anyway. Yeah, so they lost their sponsorship with Stone, but in the long run,
they're not losing now.
The beer, though, if you can catch it, because they brewed a bunch, so it's out there. Stone had already said we're not going to pull it, but again, we're going to donate the profits from it to the Las Vegas Metro Police Department. So that's pretty cool. At least something good kind of comes out of it.
Yeah, that's. Dumbass.
You know, the core fan base for NoFX isn't going to give a shit about that.
Nah, that's like
it's the casual fan, the fan that's kind of been like, oh yeah, they're like, well, maybe that's not a good idea. They may lose a few here and there, but like you said, the type of band they are.
And when was their last album out anyway?
What last what?
Album was
the last album?
Yeah.
Oh god, I can't even tell
It's
you.
been a long time since I've like.
No, it's not. It hasn't been that long. It's
only
been a couple
they're
years.
pretty active with putting out
they really
records.
Are. They all sound the same though.
So you don't,
yeah. And I kind of got actually they lost me a little bit when they started getting real political. It's when I kind of tuned out because that wasn't what I wanted at NoFX at the time. Although those albums actually they're pretty good, but I just never got back into them like I was before.
Well,
they do still suck live.
When he did the whole Punk Against Bush stuff.
Yeah, but we left early.
We went to those shows. Yeah, because they suck live.
Yeah.
Is that going to wrap it up for us this week?
Yeah,
this
you
time?
know what? We're good on time.
And always a thank you to our sponsors, Chino Valley Brewery.
Hold on. It's kind of awkward the way you did that.
Oh, wait, no. Check that. There is one more thing. Finish. You guys already finished. I just got to finish my beers. I have a client. His name's Nathan. Really cool guy. Started brewing beer.
Oh, awesome.
So he's done a couple batches already. Well, he brought me a couple bottles. So you guys we don't have to drink them all, but I want to try them both. So I want to open up these bottles and let's check them out. I believe one is an Oktoberfest and one is a Amber.
An Amber, there we go.
Maybe. Don't hold me to that.
We'll be able to know when we pour it.
Excuse me. I've been fighting the urge to drink these for almost 2 weeks now.
So
Stand by.
he's getting that.
You could have drank one, and we probably would have known.
This is true.
While he's grabbing that, man, yesterday as we talked was the Dominion, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Wow. Omega Okada 4. Off the chain, man. Those guys wrestled for an hour. I don't know how their cardio held up, dude. I'd have been dead.
For an hour?
They wrestled for over an hour. It's a 2 out of 3 falls match. This was the final one. Spoilers, you'll hear them by the time this goes out, but Kenny finally won the IWGP title.
Heavyweight.
Yeah, the heavyweight title.
And
And
then,
the Jericho
Naito
the Jericho Naito was a pretty good match. Jericho won. He came out, he's the new Intercontinental Champion, so all speculation now says, hey, they come back in July to the States. Is Jericho going to defend it against Naito in the States in San Francisco? Should be interesting to
Y2J.
see. Yeah.
Raw is Jericho.
Tell you, man, that guy.
He
he's
had
just-
an interesting
he's
look
the
I
man.
saw online, too. That very interesting look. It was a new look for him.
I saw a meme that said, listen to ICP once. Looked like the Crow. It came out kind of like a crow-looking thing. Like a cross between a crow and a Droogie boy.
That's what I was going to say. It seemed
Yeah.
more droogie to me.
If you don't know what a Droogie boy is, it's somebody from Clockwork Orange.
It's Oktoberfesty. Kind of.
Which
This
was
is
this
a
the
little
one?
on thicker side.
Was this the one
With a black.
This was the one with the black one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Because there's the one with
This
the
one has
you
O on
opened,
it.
I believe, is the Oktoberfest.
Yeah, so this is is Amber.
Amber, maybe.
Wait, okay.
Amber, perhaps.
Wait, are there two different ones?
Yeah.
There's
No,
two
we only
different ones.
poured
We
one
haven't
bottle.
poured.
We're only pouring one bottle.
We've only
Oh,
We poured
okay.
one at a time.
Got you.
All right, Nathan. See what we got.
Salud.
Very caramel.
Oh man, I really like this.
It's a lot of caramel. You can tell
Yeah.
it tastes that.
Yeah.
This is a very good homebrew. Having other people's homebrew, you look for those off flavorings.
Yeah, you totally do.
Yeah,
I've had some that taste like
yeah.
butterscotch.
Yeah, I've had some that taste like chloroseptic. I've had some like it was a stout that tastes like soy sauce. So when you drinking homebrews, you because it might not be exactly. You can tell it's made at home, but you're looking for like
carbonation isn't-
carbonation,
yeah.
off flavors. You're looking for like weird flavors that come inside of it, like from not doing the yeast properly, not putting proper yeast in there, not having the proper fermentation temperatures.
Right. Well,
This
it
is
seems
really good.
very adequately carbonated.
Yeah.
I think mine's a little on the flat side.
It tastes.
The
to
piece
me,
that I got was a
it
little on the
tastes
flat
little
side. The
flat,
flavor's there, but it
but
tastes a little on the flat side.
Man, it's pretty good.
It's got some good carbonation to it.
Well, it's
Cool.
there. It's just not. It's not as heavy as I thought it would have been. It's good though.
Oh yeah.
Man, Nathan, you did a really good job, man.
This is
Very-
actually
very
really good.
smooth beer.
Ace.
And you've talked to me before. We've mentioned before. If you're going to do homebrew, start with something and just keep working on that. Keep
Yeah.
perfecting instead of trying to bounce around a lot.
I had somebody come into Chino Valley Brewery, and they were saying that he wants to do home brewing, and he wants to do a clone of Pliny the Elder. And I told him, you don't want to do Pliny. Pliny is has 30 different hop additions. That means you're putting hops in almost constantly during the boil. I said, you don't want to do Pliny.
There's a reason why it's
Yeah.
it's hard to get, and it's only every so often that it comes out.
Yeah. Well, Pliny's, the Elders comes out all the time. The Younger's the one that's next to impossible to get. But it's not an easy beer to brew. And I said, I go, if you've never brewed beer before, do a pale ale. Brew it a few times and make sure that it tastes consistent. That's what you're going for. We always joke that the worst beer in the world is made by the best brewers, because Budweiser, Natural Light. You can have a Budweiser anywhere in the world, and it's going to taste the same. Okay? A lot of small beer companies, sometimes it tastes different from batch to batch. So you're trying to do it for consistency. And that could be fluctuations with temperatures. Boils aren't going in right.
Funkiations.
I
I think you meant fluctuations, but it's all right.
fluctuations. You know what I mean. Everybody knows what
Keeps
I mean.
it funky.
Funky Nation.
And they sound like Don Vito. Different way things just happen to go in at different times. It tastes differently. So that's what you're brewing for consistency.
Damn. Sounds like a lot.
That's why I just buy beer.
Yeah.
It is not easy.
It's why I don't grow weed. I just buy it. It's too much work.
Brewing
for
your own
me.
beer is not easy.
I would imagine it's not.
Yeah, it didn't work
it's
out
not
too well for the
supposed to
Three
be
Stooges
easy.
either.
I mean, I guess it can be easy once you get really good at it, but yeah, it's a lot of effort has to go into something like this. That's
yeah,
why
I mean,
these-
you're always cleaning. Like everything
Yeah.
has to be spotless cleaned, and you got to use
It's just like cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can even cook in a dirty kitchen.
Yeah. Man, okay,
that one had to come out.
This next one that we're going to try is supposed to be an Oktoberfest.
You guys get me fucked up.
I myself am not familiar with an Oktoberfest. I've had them, but I've never had them explained to me before.
I can't really give you. It just has more of the fall flavors, what you consider like fall flavors.
Okay.
They use yeast that's like going to be roasted and ready in the fall, and very similar to like it's a German ale, basically.
Perfect. Cool.
I don't like Germans, man. They started a couple of wars.
Yeah, I'm gonna let's go ahead and thanks, Nathan. Thank you for this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Different taste, not as caramely.
A little more like a brown.
Where's that?
Yeah.
I need some more water because I
You need water?
yeah because I can't get the taste.
You got to cleanse your palate.
Yeah.
We should have had some cheese in between.
Well, now
There's
that I
more
know
pizza?
that, there's still some pizza
Smell
left.
coffee beans?
Yeah,
Coffee beans. And I love coffee.
I love coffee too.
All right, here we go.
Coffee sponsors, hit us up.
Rad Coffee, we're looking at you.
I'm gonna tag him. We're gonna tag him.
Please do.
It's good.
Newcastle-y?
Yeah, I get
That's why I
that.
say a little
Yeah.
brownish.
Brown ale.
Brown
Yeah,
ale.
brown.
It's good. Like I said, no off flavorings. Everything tastes like a beer's supposed to be.
So it had a little bit more carbonation than the last one I had.
Nice coloring.
Oh, coloring is very much like a Newcastle. I'm getting a very
a little bit lighter than a
little
Newcastle.
lighter.
It actually looks like a Sam Adams Oktoberfest coloring wise.
okay.
It does,
let's
and
see
he
that.
might even have a clone kit or just buy an
Exactly.
Oktoberfest kit.
Yeah. Well, it's good for man. Make a bunch of this. Make it on the cheap. It's a lot of beer.
Fucked up.
Hell yeah, Nathan! Fantastic job, my man.
Thank you, sir. If anybody else has any home brews there,
What you want us to
willing to
drink?
share.
Yeah, dude.
Hey,
You
hey,
want us to
take
review
homebrew?
something?
Yeah, we'll review homebrew.
Send it our way. Let us know about it.
And if you have a lot of them, we'll just record that segment just specially with just trying beer.
We'll have a beer night, baby.
Oh man, that would
Come
be
and
a
just
long
taste
night.
test.
Actually, that's a good idea
that'll
for
be
I
a
got
Friday
another
night
collector's item,
recording
which is the
session.
Pumpkin Drublick little freaking taster, little 2-ouncer.
Oh, nice.
That shit's a collector's item too, because no effects ain't going back in that too.
There you go. Throw it on eBay.
I'm gonna throw one. You know what? It sucked. You couldn't even get this can at the fest.
Wow.
They didn't sell it. I got a Pennywiser at home too. I got to crack that open too.
It tastes like them generic IPA for a generic punk band.
Man,
That
It's the Bud Light of IPAs, Dan.
I said it that last time.
I'm Mexican. I like Bud Light.
That Sublime,
So you'll really
that
like that
Sublime
one.
Mexican lager one was pretty.
Oh,
good.
that was.
I still got a
fantastic.
couple of those in the fridge
That
actually.
was tasty.
I'm going to tell you my favorite so far was the Belching Beaver Deftones collaboration. It was their brown. It was a coconut chocolate brown.
Oh wow,
It was
Sounds delicious.
good.
He said Belching Beaver.
Belching Beaver.
Hey, at least they still got the name on like Donkey Punch had to change their name to Wild Donkey, and I believe they're all closed.
Well, Belching Beaver is not.
I know, but if you
I mean,
think
the
about
logo,
it,
I know what it is. The logo really is a beaver burping.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Belching Den.
One of them.
Fantastic beer.
Well, what we got coming up, guys?
Actually, next week I'm going to be at Frank Turner show.
Oh, nice.
So he just released a new album, very, very different than the stuff he's been working on for the last 10, 12, 15 years, whatever it's been now. Kind of a lot of pop influence, but still at the very time very politically charged. Great single, 1939. But the Menzingers are playing with him, and I've been wanting to see.
Oh, really? Where's that at?
That's at the Palladium.
Oh, wow.
So I've been wanting to see the Menzingers for years.
Yeah, they're really good, actually. When is that?
It's next Saturday, the 16th.
Is it sold out?
I honestly have no idea. Lucero's playing with them too.
Oh, wow.
This is a really good lineup, man. I'm excited.
see if we get a backstage pass.
Might be a little late for that, but I'll shoot him some messages. He responds pretty well on Twitter. I'll ask his photographer too. His photographer liked me.
Oh, cool.
I did a film screening for the biopic they did on him, and I asked his photographer because one of the music videos Frank Turner did, CM Punk was in.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
Frank Turner was fighting CM Punk in the.
Yeah, we just
in the
watched him
video.
get his ass kicked here a little while ago.
We did. So, but he beat Frank Turner, so you know.
Well, he beat Frank Turner. He sure didn't break
That's our
Mike
person-
Johnson.
So I was asking him a story about that. He was all excited because he's a big-time wrestling fan, too. So actually, Daniel Bryan was supposed to do the video.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
And it was right around the time he had injured himself and he was going through the pieces and he had to retire and all that. So he goes, I can't do the video. He goes, but I got somebody who I think will do it. So then CM Punk ended up in the video.
Wow, that's awesome.
I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. Of course he did.
Likely story.
What you got going on, man?
Just work. So, that's all I got coming up. I have some big news on the next episode, and I told you guys, but I want to share it with everybody else later on. So
cool.
Awesome.
I'm recovering, man. I went to grad night, and I wasn't here in the opening segment, but I went to.
He was still asleep.
I was still asleep. I went to grad night, so I was up from 5 a.m. to 5 a.m. Went to Six Flags, which I haven't been to since I was like 12. It was pretty cool. I mean, the rides were cool. The waits were long
and the
waits.
drive.
I was asleep on the bus.
I haven't been there since Dad had the company picnic.
Yeah,
there.
that's the last time I went.
You
That
were
would be
about
1990,
16.
91. No, I was younger than that.
No, because I was in 6th grade. I
Okay.
remember doing it in 6th grade.
It's been a good 25
Wow.
years since I've
Yeah.
been there. So I remember the walks and how far everything is from each other.
Yeah.
I think I would do Six Flags, but I think I would do it on my own time. Grad night was super packed. Lines were long. I only got on about 3 or 4 rides. Messed with the kids, ate dinner, bunch of stuff. It didn't matter to me. I got paid to be there.
Did
so
you
it
ride
didn't bother
Superman?
me. I did not ride Superman. The line was too long. I rode Batman, X2, which is like that's the ride everybody wants to get on,
Yeah.
which is freaking cool. And I rode a ride called Tatsu, who took it. We're sitting in chairs right now. So imagine if the back of my chair popped up and I'm all of a sudden looking at the ground. That's how the ride starts.
Oh,
that's
wow.
how you ride. Oh, it was intense, man. It was pretty cool. I'd do it. That's definitely not for my kids, but if anybody you are down, I'll go with you. Other than that, talking about wrestling, we got some tickets for coming up for some shows. We got Bar
Oh, that's
Wrestling
right.
the end of this month, and we're going to catch NXT. Actually, the end of next month, right around my birthday.
Nobody got
NXT at the
tickets for
RMA.
SmackDown?
No, I thought about it, but I didn't end up buying tickets for SmackDown.
Isn't that like next Tuesday or
It's
or-
the 26th. It's right 2 days before we
Hey,
go to
if
Bar
all goes
Wrestling.
well, the Street Dogs are playing the Observatory on the 29th.
June?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be out of town.
If anybody's in town, maybe I'll hit up George.
And I think Hepcat's playing in October.
They are. I can't make that because the next day is a UCLA game. If I don't get tickets for the UCLA game, then I'll go to Hepcat. But
Where's
that's
that
for
at?
now.
House of Blues Anaheim.
Yeah.
There it is.
Which I haven't been to. I haven't been to the new House of
I
Blues.
haven't been there either, and it's been open over a year now.
Yeah. But other than that, I'm done with school, so I'm on summer vacation, which means Disneyland trips and more podcasts. I'm actually going to do a podcast tomorrow, an education one, with a friend of mine. I'm going to go through about a half an hour, just do it over Skype.
That'd be
Record it on
rad.
Skype calls. Yeah. She wanted to start something, so I said, I know how to do a podcast. So we'll go through and check it out. If it comes out any good, that you see the other side of what I do. So that's pretty much what I got going on. What
Dude,
you got going on?
that'd be pretty rad.
Yeah.
Uh,
We talk about serious stuff and not use the word fuck.
Shit and balls.
He's going to
Shit
use the word
balls.
pedagogy.
Fucking shit balls. I'm
As
pedagogical
a
things.
teacher, there's times you
Pedagogy.
want to use those words.
Oh, I use them. I just, sparingly.
He's going to say Marzano and
Piaget.
I've got a family reunion coming up at the end of the month. That's like the most exciting thing I've got. So I'm going on vacation. So that's about it. Other than that,
And then
work,
going
work,
to shot.
work.
You guys they do the summer concert thing again?
Yeah, Dos Lagos is getting ready to do their summer concert thing.
Dude,
They're gonna have a Blink 182 cover band there this year.
I see
are
some
we
of these
that
new
old
cover
that
bands.
they,
and I'm
they
like,
play
oh my,
the
that's
Slide
weird.
Bird quite a little bit now.
Oh, really?
They do the Offspring, and there's a Green Day one.
Well, they'll only do cover bands at Dos
Yeah.
Lagos.
No, and which makes sense because you're gonna draw because people know the
Correct.
They
the
know the
songs.
music.
Are the Sweet and Tender Hooligans playing?
No, they are not.
Hey, speaking of which, I just saw today that is it next week? Maybe the end of this week or next week that Suburban Legends are going to play for the last time at Downtown Disney because they're shutting all that stuff down because they're redoing
They're doing
Downtown
their
Disney.
construction.
So that might be worth checking out to see them for that last time. It's on a Tuesday or something.
God, didn't we see them the first time they played there?
We used to do that when they played the entire summer in Downtown Disney, literally like
Yeah,
every
and then they got
night.
moved into the park
Yeah.
because they played the terrace for years. We would check out. Maybe I'll catch your brother, our other brother, to go with me to go catch a set or two for the last time before they shut that stage down in Downtown Disney.
Huh.
Say bye to ESPN Zone.
Man, so okay, do you guys know anything about this hotel coming in?
That is taking up a lot of space.
But like,
It's
are
taking
they
up the movie
putting-
theater, the ESPN Zone.
But are they gonna put stuff like underneath the hotel, almost like casino style, where like
You go in and there's a bunch of stuff like, could ESPN come back and be?
I don't think ESPN is going to come back because, as far as I know, that's the last ESPN that exists.
Oh wow!
The rest of them all closed. It's speculated that some of the like, what's the name of the sandwich shop?
Earl Sandwich is supposed to be a hotel
has
restaurant.
a spot, inside the hotel.
That's kind of what I was thinking was going to happen.
Maybe even the movie theater. You never know, But yeah, some of that stuff's going to come back inside the thing. I haven't even been to downtown Disney in a while. I haven't been to
since we did the virtual thing.
Yeah, since we did the virtual thing, but I haven't been to Splitsville to either bowl or eat, or the Haagen-Dazs just close to because we're going to open that other sandwich place.
Take the Skinheads bowling.
That other bird, yeah.
Dude, they're going to open a Ballast Point down there.
They're going to open a Ballast Point, yeah.
So
it's going to be all different. So we'll report for that. We'll do all that stuff when it all opens.
Slowly but surely.
All right, guys. Well, let's wrap this turkey up.
So again, thank you to our sponsors, Chino Valley Brewery.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Located at 1609 South Grove Avenue, Ontario, California 91761. Find us online at ChinoValleyBrewery.com.
And also Crown and Stash Barber Company at 2780 Cabot Drive in Corona, California.
And, of course, the Made Shop Riverside, 6520 Magnolia Avenue in Riverside, MadeShopRiverside.com.
And a special shout-out to Orange Circle Optometry with Dr. Alex. Go there, tell him you listen to the podcast. He'll treat you really nice if you tell him that. True story, I have some flyers and some business cards for the podcast. I gave him some, thinking he'd give them out to friends. He put them on his counter to give out to customers. A couple people took them, so we might have a few more listeners. If you found our podcast on at Orange Circle Optometry, send us a message. Let us know.
And speaking of send us a message, well, first of all, I want to thank our two guests today.
Oh yeah,
we had two guests today,
Ryan and Junior.
Yeah, Ryan and Junior for joining us today for a little bit. Send us a message. You can email us at exocast@yahoo.com. We're on Instagram at exoculture. Facebook, find us at exocult. Twitter, we are at exocultcast. You can download episodes. This is episode number 7. The other 6 ones we got. Podomatic, iTunes, Stitcher. Look for us on YouTube. Search Extraordinary Culture Podcast. Or simply say, Alexa, play the Extraordinary Culture Podcast. So,
all right.
Let's do it.
Thank you.
Bye.